Assalamu alaikum. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will explain about the different types of tissues, but before that I have a note to tell you. As I said in my past videos, I will make a playlist after finishing some basic structure, basic lectures of histology. So I will make the playlist for farm animal diseases, okay, and their route of transmission, infection, symptoms and treatments and diagnosis, okay? But please, for your first year students, do not get confused. Try your best to not study the playlist of diseases that I will make it at future, okay? Just for now, you need, for your first year of college, you need only histology, physiology, anatomy, animal management, animal poultry, okay? In those lectures of your first, I will just explain histology. In other channels, you can get what's called the other lectures, the other, uh, I mean, yeah, the other lectures of physiology and other lectures. So I will just explain about histology. For your third year of college, you can get benefit from the other playlist that I will make. It's about farm animal disease. If you like, just for your information, you can watch it, no problem. Epithelial tissue. We have today I'll explain about the types of tissue. We have five main types of tissues in our bodies, in our body. Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue and muscular tissue, and at last adipose tissue. Okay, first we have epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue lines the cavities and the surface of organs and blood arteries. Throughout, the epithelial tissue lines the cavities and the surface of organs and blood arteries throughout the animal body, not just the animal body, be careful, even human bodies. So because it's a veterinary histology, we will speak about animals. So what we get here, that we know that epithelial lines the outer part, the upper layer of a slide, mostly, okay? Mostly it lines the upper part of the slide, okay? Here and down the epithelial tissue, or beneath the epithelial tissue is, sorry, is the connective tissue, as I wrote in this picture. As you see, this is an example of skin slide, okay? Skin slide stained by H and E. Okay, as you see here, I wrote E. E means epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, and beneath the epithelial tissue or under the epithelial tissue, we have the connective tissue. I wrote CT. Okay, okay, this is the connective tissue. Look, guys, if we get here, we can see, for a revision, try to know which parts are the basophilic parts, which parts are the acidophilic parts or eosinophilic parts, we can say, and what's the nucleus. Can you find the nucleus? Can you find the cytoplasm? Try to look at them. Can you find the cell wall, as I explained in cytology, first and second part? Here is the epithelia or epithelial tissue. Don't look at this layer, okay? This the layer that's little flat infused cell remnants. This is called keratinized. Now don't look at this for me. Just look at the epithelium that has nucleus here. As you see, the outermost is the epithelium, and I will tell you how to differentiate epithelium from connective tissue after, when we reach connective tissue. So the beneath the epithelium is the connective tissue. So basically this is called loose connective tissue, okay? The connective tissue cells are not attached together so much as in the epithelium, okay? In the epithelium, the tissues are the cells are attached together, so we have no ECM. So what's ECM? It's extracellular matrix, okay? Or we have a very little amount of ECM or extracellular matrix. So yeah, here is the collagen fiber, okay? This is the basement membrane of the epithelial tissue. Try to know it, or it's known by the name the base of those cells are called the basement membrane, okay? This is as we know, there are two layers. The epithelium is the epidermis, and the CT or the connective tissue is the epidermis. Sorry, the epithelial is epidermis, the connective tissue is dermis. Okay, as you see, I explained here. Now, when we come to epithelia, as you see, the cells in epithelia are attached together, and this is the nucleus. Okay, nucleus. Okay, this is the cell membrane, and the down part is the basement. Okay, basement, or we can say base. Okay, so this is the nucleus. As I said, the cells are attached together, so it means we don't have ECM or extracellular matrix between them. We don't have collagens, we don't have fibers, we don't have any those kinds of structures. So sorry. We will come to connective tissue, and now you will know the difference between them. Connective tissue supports, links, and separates many types of tissues and organs. Connective tissue has a lot of matrix between the cell, whereas epithelial tissue has essentially none. So means we don't have epithelial tissue here. As you see, in epithelial tissue, if we come back to the skin, sorry, if we come back to the skin slide, we can see collagens. Collagens are acidophilic, okay? That's how we know them. We can see collagens here. As you see, we can see collagens. Those are the cell and the nucleus, okay? The collagens show one of the signs that this is the connective tissue. So if you see collagen, this is called the connective tissue. So I will tell you how to recognize the collagens and their types. So here we have another example of connective tissue. Don't tell me what's this cell name. We will study all in different parts, okay? If we come here, we see some cells, mast cells, white blood cells, or WBC, and some types of fibers. We have three main fibers: collagen, elastic, and reticular fibers. So as you see, I lined the elastic fibers look like a hair, okay? A single hair, okay? They are very thin. But collagen fibers are a little bit thicker than elastic fibers, okay? Simply you should know those. But the reticular fiber is thicker than both, okay? This is just a morphological way to recognize them. I will explain in other videos. They're different in structures and locations, okay? So simply, elastic fibers are just like hair. They are very thin, but reticular, as I colored here, are thicker than both collagen fibers and elastic fibers. So collagen fibers are thicker a little bit than elastic fibers. Elastics are, they appear just like basophilic, and they are dark. Okay, this is the difference between the types of fibers. So what's the ground substance? What's the ground substance? If we come to the ground substance, we can't see it by a light microscope. The ground substance is, guys, you see those whites here? The whites between between the fibers, as you see. Those whites are called ground substance. So ground substance, we can't see it. We can't see the main structure, by a light microscope. We can just see it by electron. So they are composed by different types of, machines or microscopes. Composition of ground substance. First and the most important is water that helps transformation of molecules and a lot of metabolic activities. And second, organic compound and salts, such as NaCl, for example, the simplest example. What's called GAGs, or glycosaminoglycans, okay? GAGs, the short form is GAGs. Proteoglycans and glycoproteins are found in the ground substance. So we come to the nervous tissue, the third type of tissue. Here is an example of cell nervous nerve cell. Nervous tissue is found in the brain, spinal cord, and nerve. It is responsible for coordination and controlling many body activities. So when we come to nervous tissue separately, and there, what's glial, for example, what's nervous tissue, I will explain it in a video by details. But now simply just look at a cell of a neuron, a structure of a typical neuron. We have dendrites, we have a nucleus in every cell, we have cell body, we have what's called the Schwann cells, myelin sheath, and axon. This long part is axon, and the axon end is called axon terminals. So as I said, I will explain it in details when we reach after finishing connective and epithelial tissue. I will explain about nervous tissue. Okay, after knowing the classifications of them. Uh, this is an example of HND state neuron cells. As you see, the axon and the nucleus. Guys, try to determine the nucleus by your eye. The most important thing for basic or a beginner person who studies histology to determine the structures of the cell. For example, the cell membrane here, the cell membrane, the nucleus, the cytoplasm, what's euchromatin and heterochromatin, their difference. Those are the basic for cytology, okay? And cell organelles and their functions are very important to know. We have muscular tissue, and as I said, I will explain it in videos separated by details, but this video is just to know the difference of the tissues, types of tissues and their functions. They have special cells that are able to produce movement and contraction, or they contract. So what's contraction? You know, when you move, the muscles contract and relax, okay? We have three main types of them. We have cardiac, skeletal muscle tissue, and smooth muscle tissue. So we have a lot of filaments in the muscular tissue. Filaments, okay? What are filaments? As I explained, in actin filaments, intermediate filaments, and myosin, okay? The filaments are helping to produce movement or contraction, you can say, okay? The cardiac is found in the heart, mainly in the heart, okay? The skeletal muscle simply are the muscles. For example, the muscle that covers the scapula. So what's the scapula? The first most important thing that you will study in anatomy is the scapula. So what's the scapular cartilage? What's the scapular spine? Infraspinous fossa and the supraspinous fossa. Okay, you will study those in anatomy. For example, the muscle that covers the scapula is called a skeletal muscle, or the muscle that covers, as you see, the muscle that covers the skeletons, the bones, are called skeletal muscles. As you see their structures, they appear in just like layers, and an elongated nucleus is seen. In cardiac muscles, the nucleus are just oval-like and larger in appearance, okay? And here is the smooth muscles that we have more collagen and appear a little bit lighter color in H&D stain. So as I said, the cardiac is found in the heart, and this is found on the muscles, and the muscles that cover the skeleton, the bones, and smooth muscles found in the intestine. Okay. After that, we have adipose. So adipose simply is a type of connective tissue, or we can call it fat. It's a type of connective tissue found. Okay, it's a type of connective tissue that extends throughout your body. So simply, it's called body fats. That can be found in SQ. So what means SQ is just the short form of subcutaneous. So it means subcutaneous means under the skin, directly under the skin. Okay, those are called subcutaneous fats. So you can find it in different forms, such as the subcutaneous fats between the internal organs, or visceral fat, and in bone cavities, or it's called bone marrow. It's found in the tuberculi of the bone. I will explain about it when we will reach bone. I will explain about osteoblast, osteoclast, and osteocyte. They're different, their location, their appearance, okay? Here's an example of adipose tissue. In one of my lectures, I said that adipose tissue is dead. It's not dead, guys. I just say that I should tell that note. Consider it as dead tissue. Not that. It's not that. Please be careful. You can't find anything in the middle of the adipose because it's molt. It will melt down during HND stain mostly. So as you see. But you can find a nucleus that I will show you now. The nucleus is easily seen. Okay, the nucleus, here is the nucleus. Okay, adipose, or as I said, fat tissue. Here is the nucleus of the adipose that I circled now. So adiposes are found in those three main forms that I told you now. Thank you guys. Hope you get benefit. Any question, I'm ready to answer for you.